Pathmonk is the intelligent tool for website lead generation. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in their buying journey separates you from the competition online. Pathmonk qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experiences like case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50%. Add Pathmonk to your website in seconds. Let the AI do all the work and get access to 50% more qualified leads while you keep doing marketing and sales as usual. Check us on pathmonk.com. Welcome to today's episode. Let's talk about today's guest. We have Jake from his own agency, the SEO Guy. How you doing today, Jake?
Good, Ernesto. How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for asking. And let's kick it off a little bit about yourself, your company, some clients, and we want to know what it's all about, what the SEO Guy has to say. So tell us a little bit more in your own words, Jake.
Sure. Yeah, so an SEO specialist turned AI software misfit, I suppose. I'm an SEO specialist, more of a consultant at this point. I took the work that I do, the implementation work that I do for clients, documented them, and I'm in the process of finalizing, a group of AI automated processes to kind of implement them. So it's very cool. A lot of code, still in the works, but yeah, it's very exciting.
Definitely great to hear that. And so that way our listeners can get a good understanding of your own agency there, Jake. What would you say is the key problem that you like to solve for clients?
Well, I'd say, clients know they need SEO. They know what it is. They're sold on it. They're willing to spend money. And they don't know more than that. They don't know what a good strategy looks like. They don't know what exactly should be done. They know there's a content aspect. They know there's a technical aspect. They don't really know much more than that. They see these reports from, agencies, they'll run a software report and, they'll get kind of inbound, inquiries. So, they're asking questions. They don't really understand it as much as they do social media or website, design or things like that. So, my whole thing is to kind of clarify that, to build, SEO sales implementation, and reporting, processes, kind of clean that up. It's a whole strategy, a lot of documentation. Clients know exactly where they are. That's the sum of it.
All right, perfect, awesome. And is there a certain vertical segment? Is there an ideal ICP that you have that you like to work with?
Sure. So I have my key client, Hooray Agency out of Irvine, California. They are specifically a hospitality marketing firm. They do hotels, hotel chains, resorts, things like that. In the last year or so, I've been primarily focusing on that client. So, so their clients are my clients. I'm diving into it. So, hospitality space is what it's been recently.
Definitely, and it keeps on growing the industry, right? The more the technology and the more people see where people can go, it's just going to keep on growing. So awesome to hear that. Then, what would you say then is a top client acquisition channel there for JakeLabate.com? Is there a certain strategy that you have to get more of those clients in?
Well, I definitely need to do, ironically, some SEO work on my own site. My own, my personal site. Currently my site right now serves as, kind of a repository, for my advanced sort of projects. It's not really something people are searching for. So it's not, something that gets a crazy amount of organic traffic, oddly enough. But, when there's a prospective client, I'll share that, and then they can see the projects. They can see what I'm working on, and that's the key function of it at this time. So, yeah,
definitely. All right, perfect. So, is there any tools or tips or methods that you would recommend to our listeners as far as some SEO or website lead generation?
Yes. Data is your friend. Some agencies, are really good at this, performance marketing agencies. They're data driven. They're looking at data. They're making decisions from it, which is good. I know a lot of agencies don't. I'm continually surprised by how large some agencies are and how poor, not their reporting is, but how poor the decisions are made from that data, to implement into the next, sort of strategy. It's something people miss, and there's plenty of it. You got to sort through it. A lot of stuff is, gibberish. But there's things you can look for in data, and you can find out what resonates with people. You can build more of that. So yeah, that'd be rule number one is, pay attention to data. I think people miss that a lot.
Definitely would agree on you. So thanks so much for sharing that. And well, Jake, let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about you as a leader. What are some key tasks that you like to focus on your day-to-day work then?
So, so the last year or so, working with Hooray, what I've done is instead of just doing implementation work, it's now three things. It's the implementation work. It's the documentation of the processes I do to achieve that. It's step 1, step 2, step 3, documenting it, extensive, clear processes. And then 3 is the building and refining of, kind of AI software tools, to automate that. So, it's both. It's the implementation work, and then it's the building of the process to automate that. So, kind of a 3-step, every day, what am I doing? And then I work towards the automation of the tasks that I'm doing. So, it's good. I can kind of see, what I should be building based on, what it is I'm actually doing. So it's pretty cool.
Definitely. Right. Awesome to hear that. And on that note, then, how do you stay up to date with all the news, the marketing trends, strategies? Is there a specific channel that you like to go with?
So I'm going to give you an unconventional answer here.
Okay.
So the content I consume is it's not going to make sense at first when I say it. Essentially, it's just, it's interacting with the world. If I have a client and I'm proposing something to them and they're not picking it up, then the content, so to speak, valuable information for me is to understand that. And I could do that by being very aware of it. So I sort of had this meditative practice. I know this is not the answer you're looking for, of kind of seeing what I'm doing and how things are going, as a way of getting the feedback and a way of learning things. So, I consume tons of content, but, as far as the number one, I just say, just look at what you're doing and see how that's affecting, the conversations you have, the people you talk to, the results of what you're doing, the higher level reason why you're doing it. If you can just be aware and you can, sort of be keen to these things, you can learn a whole lot, and that affects, everything: marketing, business, professional. So, yeah, a bit of an unconventional answer for you, but.
All right, awesome. Great to hear that. Thank you so much for sharing that there, Jake. And well, let's jump into our next section here, which is our rapid fire question rounds. Are you ready for them?
Sure, fire away.
All right, awesome. First off then, Jake, what is the last book that you read?
Last book that I read, more of an audiobook guy. Last book I read was probably 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. He is a very, very well-known psychologist. Everybody knows Jordan Peterson. But yeah, a little bit of life, communication, very philosophical guy, very interesting. I'm big into, psychology, philosophy, things like that.
Definitely. All right, great read there for our listeners as well. Then next up is what is one single thing that you're focused on at the moment the most?
Focused on it the most. It's really mapping my processes. I kind of answered that a little bit before. But, when I'm doing work and I'm documenting what I'm doing, I have to jot down every factor I consider or every parameter to a decision so that when the software is built, I can sort of count for that, right? Because if I'm making decisions on these things, then they need to be in the software. Because if they're not, then the software is incomplete. So, yeah, that's where my attention is right now.
Definitely. All right. Great to hear that. And next up then is, if there would be no boundaries in technology, then, Jake, what would be that one thing that you want to have fixed for your role as a marketer today?
No boundaries to technology. So marketing is often seen as a task, unfortunately. And great marketing it's a meditative thing. It's a expressive thing. Data plays a big role. You have to look at what's happening. But if there's, with these tools, if there's a way to sort of allow the creative marketer to utilize more of that effort, or allow them to go deeper into that, I think the results are going to be, better. It's what they want to do. It's what they're good at. It's where the real results come from. Not every creative idea is great. But a lot of marketing is task work, and a lot of marketing is a creative sort of discovery. So I don't know what that software looks like. I'm a big Whimsical fan. Whimsical's mind map software. It just helps me visualize things. I can, build things out. So, whatever allows, marketers to do more creative things.
Definitely important. All right. Awesome. Great to hear that. Next then is, if there's one repetitive task that you could automate, what would that be?
Repetitive task.
If any, right? I mean, probably at this point, everybody is already in the automized, everybody has everything set up, but if there's still something left, well, I mean, what would that be?
I think I'm really looking forward to, VR, virtual reality. I'm big into marketing and tech, so I'm on the computer all the time. A lot of what I'm doing is switching between programs. I close this window, I open that, I, click this link, I go, it's sort of a navigational thing. And that's not creative work. It's not analysis. It's not expression. It's not, anything. So, I don't know, maybe VR can kind of solve that. I know Elon Musk is working on the Neuralink, which can maybe, ease that barrier between how people and the machines interact. I think there's been some, case studies on that. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it looks like, but, a lot of what marketers do is it's using software, it's exporting things, it's, cleaning some data, whatever can automate that sort of jumping from, program to program is going to be helpful.
Definitely. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Great to hear that. And then, well, lastly, Jake, is if we can go back in time, right? Say, what would be that one advice that you would give yourself if you were to restart your journey as a marketer today?
So it would be to find out what it is that I like to do, and then try to find a way to express that through my profession. I've had different venues and different avenues of, professionally. And what I was doing, in large part, was building a resume. If you're a creative sort of person, and not everybody is, it's a very, difficult thing. But if you are, if you can find, this is the advice I'd give myself. I discover what it is I like to do, and recently, spend writing code. But how can that turn into a profession? It's a cliche thing, do what you like, and you don't work a day. in your life. But it's true. And I've had jobs that I did not like. But now I wake up and I'm excited because I get to build what it is I build anyways. So, it'd be to find what you like doing, and then try to make a profession out of it.
Definitely important. All right, great to hear that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us as your experience. And well, we are coming to the end of the show here, Jake. But before we do end, I do want to give you the last word. If someone forgets everything about the interview today, what is that one thing they should remember about you, your company?
Is that I'm secretly a consultant. People hire me to do marketing tasks, and I give them way too many things that they should be working on. And some people love that, and some people don't. But yeah, if someone's going to work with me, we're going to get into the weeds. We're going to figure out what you're doing marketing wise. Sure, I'll build your website and build a program to help you with that. But if there's no traffic to it, if there's some kink in the process, I'm going to tell you about it. So, be ready for that, I suppose.
Definitely. All right. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Jake. Do appreciate that. And I do appreciate you for being on today's episode, as well as to our listeners. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we're looking forward to our next episode at Pathmonk Presents. Thanks a lot, Jake.
Thanks, Ernesto. Good talking to you.